Hi, I'm Yewande. Welcome to Knitting the Blues. In this episode, I'll be talking to you about finishing my wild first time in Tasha mashup of a sweater, as well as my beautiful all over cable Hawley pullover. I'll also be doing some mending. Oh, and I'll be taking you with me to an event I attended on Knit in Public Day. Thank you for watching. So here I am making the last side of my Hawley pullover. I think I've got one more repeat and then I start fiddling with the sleeve shaping. So this is my first cable sweater, full cable. This is my first, it's not my first knit in pieces. I did knit something in pieces before. I made a real mess of it and swore off knitting in pieces until I saw this pattern and it was just so damn beautiful. I was like, no, I'm going to learn how to knit in pieces. So it's going to be my first, not my first, but my second, but my first in a long time. And my first, when I really wanted to be fabulous, sweater knit in pieces. And it's Kitchener stitch, which is not a favorite of mine. So anyway, in this video, yes, I'm going to just be, I'll take you along with me as I finish this sweater. We're almost done. So let's make this video about finishing it. And let's see how it all turns out. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. I think you can tell. And I've even been thinking about how I'm going to wear it and what I'm going to wear it with. And I have like a pair of, would you say pea green? You'll see it later if that's the right description. But I know that's kind of Christmassy, but I can't help red and green. I can't help that combination just works. So I thought I'd wear it with my pea green kind of almost culotte type pants. And then I wondered how it would look wearing it in my zucchini dress, just because I'm looking for an excuse to wear the zucchini dress. It's winter here, and so I haven't been finding much reason to wear that dress. But I thought, oh, what if and that dress is this gray, light gray color. It's a pattern by Noman Lovu that I made some months ago that I love very much. And I thought it might be fun to have the zucchini dress. It's a, with straps kind of dress, knitted dress, cotton. And so anyway, when I do a little bit of try-ons and fashion show at the end of this video, I'll talk about what I'm pairing it with a bit more detail. But for now, I'm going to keep going. Knitting the back. I love cables. Gosh, I love cables. I'm okay. I like lace, but it's not necessarily my look. I mean, I made the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers, and I love that, and I need to make more of them. It's not like I don't like lace. I don't do lace very well. I forget. I didn't do the yarn over. But there's something, for me, very intuitive about cables. Now, I know I'm new to cables. I'm not going to pretend like I'm not saying I'm some sort of cable pro, but I figured out quite quickly. I had one mishap early on in making this sweater. I think I talked about it a few episodes ago. I had one mishap where the cable went in the wrong direction and I had to rip back and so on. After that mishap, I kind of worked out for myself how to know without reading the pattern, because I like to just leave the pattern alone and live my life, right? So how to know what you need to do with the cable needle, back or front. I sort of worked it out. And like you can read the stitches and read the pattern. And I worked that out. And I'm very proud of myself that I could work that out. There are two others that I've been thinking about. One is the Oda vest or Oda sweater. I like the vest form. But I'm scared of that pattern because in the comments, people say, oh, this was wrong and that was wrong. So, and not being a pro at cables, I just thought, oh, let me not do something that I'm going to get into trouble with. But it is so beautiful that I might just have to. It's also not cheap. I mean, look, I'm not saying patterns should be cheap. I don't want to get into. I'm not at all saying that patterns should be cheap. Should be cheap. I understand that it's a lot of labor, and so people should charge what they need to charge. but just for my pocket, as in like just for my budgeting, it's not the price of a house, but I'm just saying like, oh, okay, I need to think a bit. If I buy it, I want to be able to make it. I don't want to buy it and then it languishes in my library because I couldn't figure something out. You know what I mean? So that was the concern. Um, so so that gave me some pause, but I go back to that thing to stare at it a lot. So maybe I should just get it or look for something similar. The other thing that is on my, excuse me while I literally, because it's in front of me, let me get all the details correct. It's in my queue. It's called the Knit Sweater by Rui Yamamuro, whom I really love their posts and their patterns. And this thing looks incredible. This thing looks incredible, and I would love to make it. It's got seed stitch arms. I love seed stitch. I have a whole sweater in seed stitch. It's the pearl sweater, and then it's got this stuff, these cable stuff everywhere else in the sweater, and it's got the long ribbing. I'm a big fan of long ribbing. It's very nice. It's very, very nice, and it's on my queue. It's right up high on my queue. I'm really enjoying the mending. I used this pure silk that I bought undyed and that I dyed. One of my first dyeing projects, and I dyed it with black beans. And it's now, I hope the color is shown properly, but it's this kind of blue-gray, a beautiful color. And because this cashmere jumper, which is a store-bought cashmere, it's a gift actually, has this beautiful blue, I'm going to really play up on that. And so I think I'm going to add mohair. I wonder if that's slightly tricky, but I'm gonna see because it might be fun. There is also the option, another gift I had is this beautiful silk paca, this wonderful yarn. It is, what do they call this? Malabrigo, exactly. Malabrigo, I couldn't remember the name. This one is called, now that's a little bit more punchy. I think I need a slightly bigger surface area, so I'm changing tools. I love the idea of knitting in public. There's just something wonderful about taking this activity that one normally does in private or in between, or, it's generally a solitary practice, and taking it right out there into the town square. And this is something that every year knitters around the world gather to mark when they participate in Knit in Public Day. And the idea is exactly that, and it's wonderfully simple. Take the thing you usually do alone and do it together. This year I joined a local gathering at a beautiful place just outside Johannesburg. There were skeins of yarn and half-finished sweaters, and people at every stage of their knitting journey. I love the sense of camaraderie. I love, what is it about this? It's like, it's doing something so personal. With some people are known to you, but many people are strangers. It's so delightful. We kind of just folded into conversation, and you get to know one another in a really gentle way. And I think that's what I like. I like how much this is about community, and how in this hurried world and this transactional world, knitting asks something so different from us. It asks for patience, for attention, for care, and when we do it together, these qualities become collective. It feels like such a sweet thing. Everyone arrives in the middle of something, a sleeve, a shawl, there's a new skill, there's a sense of hope. It's a kind of deep companionship. I had a wonderful time. I love discovering the beginnings of a blossom. It's quite magical. I feel like I've been doing that for like half an hour. It's barely an inch. Wow. I mean, it's okay. I think when I pull it tight, it'll be fine. So I wanted to show you how I'm doing with the seaming. I started the seaming yesterday and it hasn't gone too badly. It took a really long time. You start by seaming. I'm holding this with my hand and I have the problem of only having two hands. You start by seaming. I think I'll turn the camera. So you start by seaming the shoulders. I need to pull that, but I think it's perfectly fine. This is the other shoulder. I mean, perfectly fine, considering it's not stockinette to stockinette, where it's really, this is, and then I'd made a mistake. I now realize, because I wasn't quite on the same, it's supposed to be identical, but I did something wrong because I lost the odd stitch, and so it's not identical, so it doesn't look as seamless as it could. But I'm okay. I mean, is that wrong of me? Is that wrong of me? I'm gonna go and look at the original and see. It's meant to be seamed, so it's meant to have a bit of a line, but ideally the ribbing continues, I'm gonna look and see what her original looks like. I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway, I've moved on and I'm going to now set in the sleeve. So I've put these things here. It's loose, so it's not but it's helping me make sure that it all fits the way it needs to. And you do mattress stitch for this, which I think is very manageable. And I think the trick is go slowly. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm not particularly happy with this jog. So I'm going to rip out a little bit and redo that bit. Just something is off. And you can see immediately that is better. Can I say that I'm enjoying myself? Could it be that I'm a seamer? And again, I'm not saying it's the perfect seam in the whole wide world, except that's not a bad seam, is it? It's very slow work, but it's meditative, which if you've been around, is my thing. And you get into a rhythm, and you get into a rhythm, and you get into a rhythm. The relationship to perfectionism, I think, is important. I think craft matters, and the detail matters. And if you're a knitter and you've been around, you know that detail matters. If you're busy making a muck-up of the stitch, it's not going to look good. You have to care. And then in other moments, keeping a bit of a light spirit seems to be more important. So a quick note about the seaming, or I've been saying in my head the unseaming, because I feel like I unseam as much as I seam. I've done, just handling this carefully. I've done the shoulders. That was fun. I'm happy with how it's going, and I'm enjoying it, which seems a bizarre thing to say, but yeah. So I did the 2 shoulders so far. And so I'm just looking. Hard to not be a perfectionist. I have done the sleeve cap all round, and now I've started the real long marathon, which is you seam from the cuff to the hem. I'm going to hold this up to see so you can see what I mean. So basically I'm now seaming from the cuff all the way to the hem. And I have started, you start at the cuff, so I've started, where is it? This is it. And that's where I am. Now it's quite fun after fiddling with trying to seam cables with stockinette, and after fiddling with the sleeve cap, it's a fiddly seam, a lot of unseaming happened there, but I must let you know that I'm very proud of myself. So anyway, I don't know if it's clear. I'm going to try and show pictures to make sure I do it justice, because it might not be coming. The light is doing something funny. After fiddling quite a bit, it's quite nice to just be seaming stockinette to stockinette. And here it was, 2x2 ribbing to 2x2 ribbing. It's quite pleasant because you find the bars easily. However, there are decreases on the sleeve. So of course, if you just go up, you lose your decrease and you have a very skinny sleeve. So luckily I realized that. I hope I realized it on time. I'm not ripping back. I think I did. So you can see I've been. And what that means is every now and then you have to be conscious. You have to remember what your seam allowance was. Mine is sort of the selved edge, the stockinette selved edge, and 1 row, I think is kind of what I'm averaging. And whenever I go up, I check that it's still 1 row and the selved edge. And if it's not, if it's more, it means I have to hop across with great care, because you catch 1 bar in the normal row, and then you hop across and catch the next bar. And you do feel like it's quite some acrobatics, but I seem to have gotten it going. I think it's working. I'm just going to go for it because there's no real way to, if it doesn't work out, I'll take it out. I have no problem taking things out. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm thinking of all the times I didn't seam, and I would normally go to, I would sort of think, I'm going to just do it on the machine, which is probably the wrong thing to do, because the tensions, to get the tension really right, to sew with thread, wool, cotton thread, wool, I had to seam the Zucchini dress, and I did it on the machine, because I wasn't there. I wasn't at a place where I could seam. But with this pattern and sweater, I decided I would challenge myself in a couple of ways. One was the full body cable, and one was the seaming. Now I've done the cables, tick, and now we're doing the seaming, and we're coming along.